Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Folks, we are just days away from the first World Golf Championship event of 2017. Here's what you're going to see at this week's WGC Mexico Championship. We'll have 49 of the top 50 players in the world teeing it up in the largest city in North America. And there will be a couple stars making their first PGA Tour start this calendar year in Rory McIlroy and Henrik Stenson. And this week's layout, the Club de Golf Chapultepec has hosted the Mexican Open 18 times, but this is its first WGC. And at nearly 7,800 feet this week, expect some eye-popping drives at the WGC Mexico Championship. Welcome to Golf Central. George Savaricas with Ryan Burr.
Yeah, no doubt about it, George. The WGC events are obviously great for the players. Only the best players in the world show up. It's equally as great for the golf fans around the world. And this week, the best of the best all head to Mexico City for the WGC Mexico Championship. And that is where we head now. Welcome in Todd Lewis. And T-Lou, really, so many questions from this golf course to the elevation. First time for everyone. What were your first reactions when you arrived at the property?
Well, I can tell you, Ryan, it definitely passed the eye test. Tree-lined fairways. It's a shot maker's golf course. It's kind of old school. It looks like a combination of Riviera and Harbor Town out here. And players will have to hit these great shots left to right and right to left. And they're going to have to adjust because this golf course is so high above sea level. The ball will carry 10 to 15% farther. One of those guys who will have to make adjustments, Rory McIlroy, not only to this golf course, but also adjusting to getting back into competition. He's taken the last 6 weeks off, rehabbing from an injury. That injury, a stress fracture in a rib on his left side. Well, over the last week, he's really been hitting a lot of golf balls for two reasons. One, to get his game sharp for the WGC Mexico Championship, and to also reestablish trust with that injured rib, something he thinks he's done.
I'm there with the trust. I've been playing for a good part of a week now and hitting drivers and hitting it hard and going on TrackMan and making sure my numbers are there and my speed's there. And I'm good to play golf. I'm still, I'd say I'm like 90%. There's still that extra 10 to get to. I've still got a little bit of strapping on my back, and I sort of have to loosen it up a little bit in the mornings. But it's a good thing. Like if it was still a bone injury, we try and loosen it up and it wouldn't go away, where this is just a little bit of stiffness around the joint. And then that sort of, once that clears in the mornings, I'm fine. I'm good to go.
Are you concerned at all about competitive rust?
A little bit, of course. I mean, I haven't played in 6 weeks, and but the last time I did play, I played pretty well and had a chance to win a golf tournament. But I've been practicing hard. I sort of got onto the putting green about a week after the injury was diagnosed, so I've been chipping and putting for the last few weeks, so I've no excuse for my short game not to be sharp anyway. And over the last couple of weeks, progressing to hitting full shots and drivers, and but it's always different. I mean, I've been practicing a lot, but once you get out onto the golf course, it's different, and I'm looking forward to feeling that.
Finally, I know your main focus will be here in Mexico City this week, but you're making a run towards the Masters right now, as is many other players. Are you thinking about that at all? Is it bouncing around in your peripheral?
Not really. My focus the last few weeks was just getting ready to play and trying to get healthy and feel like I'm in a position where I can go out and play 4 rounds of golf and be fine. So that's where my focus has been. My focus this week is here and getting back into competitive mode. It's great that I have 4 rounds. I have 4 rounds of golf to, it's not as if there's a cut, and I can play 4 rounds. I'll reassess where I am, see how the body feels, see where the game is, and then I think after this week, I've got 2 tournaments, between then and Augusta, and then I'll start to think about it a little bit and see what I need to do to get ready for there.
In regards to that left rib injury, Rory said that he is not protective, but he is cautious, making sure that he stretches and gets the proper treatment. He does have some tape, some protective tape on the left side of his torso. And he wants to make sure he doesn't re-injure that left rib as he makes his run to Augusta. Besides the WGC Mexico Championship, he will have 2 more starts prior to the Masters. Those starts, the Arnold Palmer Invitational and the WGC Dell Match Play. Ryan?
Thanks, Todd. Much more from you throughout the program. Taking a look at the last 6 worldwide starts for one Rory McIlroy. And, well, as you come to expect, anytime Rory tees it up, you just kind of expect that he's going to figure in the final leaderboard, and that has been the case just about every time out for McIlroy. With that, we welcome in Trip Eisenhower and our insider, Tim Roseford. And really, a lot of question marks around Rory, Tripp. The first thing you think about is you hear a stress fracture in the rib. And when we heard that news, you kind of go, ooh, that sounds really, really bad. What is your concern level that he's going to be 100% this week?
Well, he wouldn't be playing if he wasn't almost fully healed. I mean, he said it's all there. He's getting maybe just a little bit of issues here and there, and the tape and the work he's getting done on it. But if we look at his golf swing, I don't see really any problem at all in Rory's golf swing or any holding back in that left side. And remember, he injured this basically by testing a lot of drivers. Remember, he had to change equipment, and he said he was hitting a lot of drivers in the offseason, which he normally doesn't do, going full speed, and that's how it happened. I don't see any holdback in Rory's swing. I love the full release of his swing. It's as technically sound. The positions are great. Physically, I think there are no issues. The only issue for me is there's some competitive rust. The good news for him, though, is he's got that short game in great shape. That's what you focus on through an injury, that allows you to chip and putt. And that's good news for Rory McIlroy, probably bad news for everybody else because, the competitive rust, you hit a few loose shots. But if you've got a nice short game to clean things up for you, I think you can get over that rust very quickly. And I expect Rory to do that, play his way right into full form like we've seen from Rory in the past, as you showed his last 6 starts.
It's interesting. Last year everyone complained Jordan Spieth packed his schedule too much and he was worn out and wasn't rested. McIlroy should be rested. Tom Brady, after winning the Super Bowl, he missed the first 4 games of the year because of Deflategate, and then those 4 games allowed him to get everything in order, be rested, and play good football. With McIlroy, how has he used this time off?
Well, my read was that it was great for him physically. It was a healing process. It was also sounded like a lot of fun. I mean, golf with the president, lunch with Tiger, a game with DJ where you shoot 65. But I think it provided an opportunity for him to get reflective about where he was in life, where he was at this point in his career. And looking back upon what he did, I think some of like watching the PGA Championship that he won in Valhalla, for example, going through that, the U.S. Open that he won in a runaway at Congressional. Those are the things that I think that he kind of looked back upon and realized how great I was, how great I could be, and how far away it is, which really, in McIlroy's case, with all that talent, healed, working on his putting, is probably not that far away. And
guys, do you remember when we had the new big 3 in golf with Jordan, with Jason Day and Rory? Well, you take a look at the big 3 now, and there's no Jordan and there's no Jason Day. Day, of course, not able to play in the WGC Mexico because he's got the flu. So the tee time will be, according to World Rank, no number 2 Day. It is world number 1 Dustin Johnson, world number 3 Rory, and Hideki Matsuyama all the way up to 4th in the world.
And Ryan, there's a chance there could be a new world number 1 by the end of the week. Here's what needs to happen for Rory McIlroy to regain that top spot. He needs to win, have Dustin Johnson finish 4th or worse. The 4-time major winner has already spent 95 weeks at number 1 so far in his young career. And there are a couple former world number 1s playing in the same group, along with last year's Open champ. Henrik Stenson's first PGA Tour start in 2017 comes in Mexico. He's playing alongside Adam Scott, who's the defending champ in this event, albeit at a different venue, as well as Jordan Spieth, who's been on a tear his last 7 worldwide starts, posting 6 top 10s along with 2 wins. So let's go out live to Todd Lewis once again. Todd, a very busy day for former world number 1 Jordan Spieth. How's he prepping for the first World Golf Championship event in 2017?
Well, Jordan spent his Tuesday hitting the gym this morning, and then he hit the back 9 here at the golf course, checking out this unique layout. And then, after lunch, he came out for a junior clinic, and this is a very special clinic for the 2-time major champion. It is all to launch the first tee of Mexico, as golf is trying to grow here, not only in Mexico City, but around the country as well. Jordan hitting some Jordan Spieth shots for the 30 boys and girls, but also hitting some trick shots and answering some questions as well. So a very special moment for the youngsters and a special moment for Jordan as well. And I know George mentioned the fact that he's off to such a great start in 2017, including a victory on the PGA Tour at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Spieth didn't play last week, but he didn't sit on his couch in Dallas. Instead, worked a bit more on his game, and he arrives here in Mexico City with a lot of confidence.
I feel really good about it. Did some work with Cameron. I had kind of gotten off a little in the tough conditions we played in Pebble and Riviera with my long clubs, just kind of a little bit of a closed face. So we worked on that last week and tried to pick up my speeds back up, which was just kind of a simple fix that took a few days of some hard work that I put in, and it feels good since I've been here. Still trusting that kind of club face rotation with my long clubs is the one thing that's kind of weighing on me a little bit, just because it's tough to do when, again, these holes are so narrow and you feel like it's just an abnormal feeling. But I feel like things are in great shape to have a good week this week. I think it's a good golf course for me, and then ultimately gain some momentum as we lead into the Masters.
That it's easier for maybe not the best players to play this in this field because it's shorter?
No, not necessarily, because I wouldn't say the best players are the longest players. Certainly there's, in the top 10 in the world, there's probably 6 or 7 guys that are in the top 20 in driving distance, but it may even it out a little bit. What it does is a lot of guys will be playing from a lot of similar locations. So it's who has best control from really 100 to about 150 yards is really, really important out here. Best control for distance control and spin control. That's going to be very important out here. So it throws a little bit of the bombers out. It's not a bomber golf course. But if those guys are hitting it long and straight, they can certainly still have an advantage.
And as we get closer to the Masters, Jordan Spieth will be asked a lot about what happened in 2016. As a matter of fact, he was asked today, what are the positives that he took out of the Masters from 2016? And he smiled and he said, hey, I do know that golf course suits me very, very well. And by the way, he plans over the next few weeks to go to Augusta National to play a practice round or two. And he does have right now 2 events on his schedule prior to the Masters. Those 2 events are the WGC Dell Match Play and the Shell Houston Open. George?
Alrighty, thank you, Todd. And we're just getting going tonight on Golf Central as we look to Rory McIlroy's first PGA Tour start in 17. We're breaking down his game tee to green tonight, part 2 of our 3-part series. And it's alternate shot. John Feinstein and Jeff Shackelford chime in on the biggest gap the game of golf has ever seen. Plus, the state of golf in Mexico and how this week's event could help grow the game there going forward.
Golf Central is brought to you by the Volkey Design SM6 wedges, progressive design, precision performance, Grip Confidence, Grip Golf Pride.